Hello and welcome to Electronics Online Tutorial. My name is Divyan Singha. I'm working as a vocational trainer under CSS VSc for the stream of Electronics at Harshchandrapur Kiranbala Balika Vidyashram, and my training partner is Orion Edutech Private Limited. We are going to talk about repair and maintenance of water purifier today. So, what happens when a customer faces some issue with the water purifier? We don't know it, right? Okay, so let me ask you, what happens when someone in your family falls sick? First, we call the doctor, make an appointment, we visit the clinic for a checkup, right? Then the doctor prescribes some medicines, we pay the doctor's fees. That's how all that goes. In the same manner, when a customer faces some issue with the water purifier, it all starts with a call. Here, the customer will call the customer care number, which is provided by the company at the time of installation. Then we'll speak to the customer care executive, who will ask for all his details like the name and the number, etc. and also will ask about the issue or the problem. Then we'll try to resolve the issue on the call itself, but if it doesn't get resolved, we'll also make an arrangement, an appointment for the technician to visit the customer's place. So now let's see what to do before visiting the customer's place. So firstly, the complaints need to be checked and the probable causes of the problem need to be identified. Then the location need to be identified so that we can make a route map in order to cover most of the location in a short span of time. The tools and parts required to resolve the issue should be checked and carried along. The customer needs to be called then and should be asked for the suitable time. It should be confirmed that he will be at home or not. Now let's talk about what to do when visiting the customer, at the customer's place. First, we need to greet the customer according to the time of the day, and that too with a smile on your face. Next, you have to inquire about the symptoms and the history of the problems. Then you need to ask about the year of purchase, services and warranty. After that, you have to identify the problem based on the information given by the customer and your examination and observation. Once you identify the problem, communicate the best possible solution to the customer. Also inform him regarding the costs involved and the time required to work on it. You need to take the customer's approval before you start to work on the issue. After you start working, try to complete it within the time you have given to the customer. If not done within the given time, explain the reasons to the customer. After you're done repairing, hand over the cash invoice to the customer. Now it's crucial to take the customer's feedback on the feedback form given by the company. You will go ahead and give the form to the customer and ask him to give his feedback. Now you might be thinking, why is the customer satisfaction so important? Okay, you know who this man is? He's named Henry Ford. He's an entrepreneur and a great businessman. He is the owner of the Ford automobile. He said, it is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. Now you understand why. And you know what? As they always say, a happy customer is a loyal customer. Now let's find out how to identify what actually is causing the problem. Firstly, the symptoms need to be identified. Then, the probable causes according to the symptom has to be selected. And then we start eliminating them one by one according to the symptoms. Now by this we can reach to the root cause. So now we can provide the best possible solution. Now we'll check if the issue is resolved or not. There can be two cases. If the issue is resolved, we'll take the customer's feedback. And if the issue is not resolved, we'll again start from step 2. Now we'll discuss about few regularly occurring problems and their solutions. And the first one is insufficient water or no water at all from the tap. The first probable reason would be a blocked feed water input. In that case, we need to open or unblock the SS ball valve. Secondly, the sediment or the carbon filter could be blocked. In that case, we have to replace them. Thirdly, the tank valve could be closed, then we have to open it, or the drain flow restrictor might be blocked, so in that case we have to replace it. Maybe the membrane housing valve is stuck, we have to check and replace the valve. Malfunctioning automatic shut-off valve may be the reason too. In that case, we have to replace it. A polluted membrane might also be responsible, so in that case, we have to replace it. Now, what if the water pressure from the water outlet tap is low? The reason may be the air pressure in the storage tank is not correct. For that, firstly, we need to empty the storage tank and set the pressure to 8 psi. Then reinstall the tank and turn the water feed supply on. Post carbon filter being blocked might also be a reason. In that case, we need to replace the post carbon filter. The tank valve may be partially closed. We need to open the valve in that case. The faulty water faucet may also be the reason. For that, we need to replace the faucet. If the TDS levels are high in the water, a blocked pre-filter may be the reason, so we have to replace it. Also, an incorrectly sealed membrane may be the reason, so we have to reinstall the membrane properly. An exhausted membrane can also be the reason. In that case, we have to replace it. Maybe the output and the drain water lines are reversed. So in this case, we will swap the connections. Maybe a malfunctioning automatic shut-off valve is the reason. In that case, we'll replace the valve. Or if the carbon filter is dirty, we will clean or, if required, replace it. In case of bad taste or odor, a blocked post-carbon filter might be responsible, so in that case, we will replace it. An exhausted membrane may also be responsible, so in that case, we will replace the membrane. A dirty water tank can also be the reason. In that case, we have to drain the water and clean the water tank. If the membrane housing is leaking, the leak may occur due to a leak in the threaded end cap. We have to lubricate the O-ring and tighten the cap, and if required, we'll replace it. Leak in the cap or body may be responsible, so we'd have to check for any damage on the cap or the body and replace accordingly. A leaking fitting may be caused by a damaged or cracked fitting. In that case, we have to replace the fitting, or maybe improper tubing or thread installation is responsible. In that case, we have to check and correct the tubing and thread installation. What if the system is continuously running? Well, maybe the automatic shut-off valve is not working, so we have to replace it. Or maybe the incoming water pressure is low, so we have to increase it to 40 psi. Maybe there's low air pressure in the storage tank, so we have to increase the air pressure to 5 to 7 psi when empty. A damaged storage tank may also be responsible, so we have to replace the storage tank in that case. Or maybe a worn out flow restrictor is responsible. In that case, we may replace it. Or lastly, maybe the membrane is not installed properly, so we have to check the membrane installation and reinstall it if required. Lastly, in case of a noisy drain or faucet, maybe the reason is an air gap in the faucet, so we have to check the installation properly. And a drain tube might be responsible too, so in that case we will check the drain line for loops, bends or kinks. Thank you all for watching the video. Hope it was useful. Please do subscribe for more such videos.